Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the finale for my project Level Up. This was a project started by me earlier this year. I have done this since January and I'm not going to cover the rules too much in this video because it is the finale, but I will have my intro video linked down below where I cover all the rules, and I also have a community playlist with everyone else who has joined in this project, and that will also be linked down below. Also, this is the finale, but don't worry, I will be bringing this project back next year, so I will post the intro video very early on in January. I think it's going to be not on the first, but very early in the first week of the month. I'm going to post my introduction for the new project Level Up, so I'm gonna do it the same way next year. No changes to the rules really. Yeah, I'm just gonna continue it the way I do, but I want to reset the project because I usually start a new project every year. I don't really keep any of my projects going, you know, forever. So I'm gonna reset this project as well, and yeah, you start fresh in January in the new year. So I'm gonna jump into the palette that I'll be working on and yeah, show you my progress. But before I do so, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So the palette that I've been working on in this project for the last 2 months is my Tiny Marvels palette from Sydney Grace. This palette is such a stunning one. I love it so much. The quality in here is amazing. This is like the best of Sydney Grace formula. The color story is very unique. I'll pop up the picture where I was last month so you can see the color story. Yeah, I used to love this palette overall and it has been a blast to work on. However, the shades in here are very hardly pressed. They're very difficult to get some good progress on. They're very pigmented and yeah, they're just hard to get progress on. So that is like again what I looked like last month, and this is what my palette looks like today. So for simplicity's sake, I'm gonna have the pictures up here instead of holding my palette all the time, so you can see the progress and yeah, where I'm with the palette. So I have forgotten to say, but this was level 3 of my project, which meant that I had to use every single shade 3 times and hit 3 pans. And again, this is what my palette looks like now. So I'm just going to go through every shade in order and talk through where I am with uses. So the first shade in the palette is the shade Web, and I am happy to say that I was able to hit pan on this one. I mentioned last time that I was hoping to hit pan on this eyeshadow, but I didn't know how long it was going to take. And these pans are so deep. Like so deep. Like I said, the shades in general are very hard to get use out of because they are so pigmented, even the shimmer shades. The mattes are so hard pressed, they get very pigmented, you can't really tell that I've used any of the mattes really. Like looking at the palette, you can't even tell that I've used any of the mattes, and spoiler alert, I've used everyone 3 times and you can't even tell. So they are very difficult, but on top of that the pans are also very deep. But my first shade, like I said, is Web, and I had used that 22 times in the last update, no pan, and I thought it was going to be really quick to get a new pan. Nope, I had to use it an additional 8 times to hit pan of a total of 30, which is really high, especially for an inner corner shade. So yeah, it took a long time, but I did hit pan in the end. Next to that we have Tree Hopper, and I used that 4 times in the first month and I didn't reach for it in the second month, so 4 uses in total. Firebuds is the next shade, and this was originally going to be one of my focus shadows, but I kind of knew last month that I wasn't able to hit pan on this eyeshadow, so I didn't focus on it that much, but I used it 9 times in the first month, an additional time this month for a total of 10. Next to that we have Walking Stick, which I also had already used 3 times. I did not reach for it in the past month. And then lastly on the top row we have Scarab, which was originally also going to be one of my focus shadows, but I didn't reach for it more than 3 times. I reached for it once in the first month and then 2 more times in the past month. You can see a little bit of a dip there, which is nice. One of my secondary goals when I figured out I wouldn't be able to hit pan on everything was that I just wanted to have a few more dips in this palette to make it look a little bit more loved, and I feel like I have achieved that. For the second row we have Flutterby, which I had already used 3 times and I did not reach for it again. BB I had not reached for at all in the first month, but I have reached for it 3 times in the past month. I'm actually wearing it for the last time today. On like the very inner corner of my top lid, I'm wearing that yellow there. So yeah, I used this one 3 times as well. Then Mantis, again I had already used this one 3 times. It's this green shade here, so I did not reach for it again. Meadowhawk is another shade that I'm wearing today. It is the shadow that's on the center of my lid, and I did reach for it the 3rd time today. I reached for it twice this month and once in the first month. And then lastly for the second row we have Lovebug, which is again one that I didn't reach for at all this month because I had already completed that 3 use goal. Then for the last row we have Jewel Bee, which I used twice in the first month and then one additional time this month. We have Marvel, which I had used once in the first month and I reached for 2 additional times this month for a total of 3 again. Death Moth I had reached for already 3 times, so I did not reach for it again. Bugaboo I had reached for once and I reached for 2 additional times. And same with Spider, I had also used this one once in the first month and I reached for 2 additional times this past month. So that means that I was able to hit my usage goal at least for this project, but I was not able to hit 3 pans. So again, looking at the palette now, I feel like I was at least able to hit my goal that I set last month, which was to use every single shade 3 times and then get some more dips in here. Because I did again realize last month that there's no chance I was going to hit 3 pans in this palette in 1 more month. But I'm happy with the one pan that I did get, which was another one of my goals last month. I do feel like this palette does look more loved now, which, you know, again, I'm really happy with. And even though I didn't hit my goal on this palette before the finale, I'm still happy with the use that I got on it, and I worked on it for 2 months. So that is where I'm going to wrap up my Tiny Marvels palette. I am really happy with where I ended up with this one, especially because I figured out how hard they were to pan. I'm kind of glad that this is my kind of last palette of the year and that I can reset this project, because again it would have taken a long time to hit my goal on this. I think it would have taken at least another month, if not 2. So yeah, I'm happy with the progress that I have. But that is again the wrap up for the Tiny Marvels palette. Just to give some final stats of this project, I worked on 8 palettes in total in this project. I completed the first round of this project, which was between 1 and 5, so I started level 1 and then I worked myself up to 5, and once I complete level 5 I reset the project again. So I worked on 5 palettes in the first round and then I got to level 3 the second round, which meant that I worked on 8 palettes and I completed the goal on 7 out of those 8. And I'm really happy. And also, just to add up, since I completed 7 palettes, so level 1 to 5 and then level 1 to 2 again, plus the additional pan in this palette, I hit 19 pans in this project, which again is really good. Yeah, I'm happy with that, and I am definitely going to bring this back next year. I've seen so many people already post their interests for next year, and I'm so happy more people want to join in. And again, I will have the collaboration playlist down below. It will have everyone from last year as well as everyone's new intros as well. I'm just going to keep the playlist going for next year. So yeah, again, make sure to check everyone else out, and I will, like I said, bring this project back next year, so expect the introduction video come up in the next week or so. But yeah, that is it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this quick and fast update, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys.